It's time for some theater tea.
All right, so we're headed to Oz, but not for a visit with Dorothy and Toto this time.
No ruby slippers today.
Nope, this time it's all about Wicked,
A musical?
the musical prequel that's pretty much breaking the box office.
Yeah, shattering it.
And we're going to deep dive into exactly why.
Sounds good.
So you send over this Slash Film article, Wicked breaks box office records with massive $164 million global opening weekend from November 24th, 2024.
Well,
And-
yeah, that pretty much sums it up right there.
Yeah, but there's always more to the story, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So let's get into it.
Okay.
So $164.2 million globally.
On opening weekend.
It's crazy.
Bigger than Les Miserables.
Les Miserables was huge.
It was a total phenomenon.
So to open right before Thanksgiving.
Smart.
Yeah, families are all together, kids are out of school, everybody wants to go see a movie.
It's prime time to release a film like this.
For sure, but even for a primetime release, this is a massive win.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Pre-Thanksgiving is when studios often try to release those big family-friendly films.
Right. To get the most views.
Exactly. It's strategic, you know.
Makes sense.
But even with that advantage, Wicked pulled in some truly impressive numbers.
Yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing.
And especially when you compare it to something like, say, Gladiator 30.
Which also opened the same weekend.
Right, head-to-head.
Gladiator 30 did $55.5 million.
Domestically.
Which isn't bad at all.
No, not
But
right.
Wicked almost tripled it.
With a $114 million domestic opening.
So clearly something's resonating.
Beyond just the holiday timing.
For sure.
And what's really interesting to me is how this bucks the trend we've seen recently.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about it. We've had Cats. We've had West Side Story. Even In the Heights.
From the same director.
John M. Chu.
Right. All musical movies.
All pretty recent.
And all kind of underperformed.
Yeah, they didn't quite hit the mark.
So what do you think is different about Wicked? Is it just the built-in fan base from all the years on Broadway?
Oh, that's definitely a factor.
Yeah. Wicked's been a huge hit on stage for years.
So there's already a massive audience out there just waiting to see it on screen.
Right. But I feel like there's got to be more to it than that.
I think you're right.
Because I remember all the trailers.
Yes.
They were surprisingly light on the singing and the dancing.
Weren't they? They really focused on the storyline and the visuals and, of course, that amazing cast.
Yeah. It was almost like they were downplaying the musical aspect.
Exactly. And I think that was a very deliberate strategy.
You think so?
I do.
Interesting.
I think after the string of musical flops we've seen recently, studios might have been hesitant to market Wicked as a full-blown musical.
Right. They didn't want to scare people off.
Yeah, it's almost like they were trying to lure in a wider audience who might not typically choose to see a musical film.
Kind of sneak it in under the radar.
Exactly.
Like, hey, it's a fantasy epic with incredible costumes and stars you love. There's some singing too.
Pretty much.
Clever.
And if you look at the audience response, it seems to have worked.
Yeah. It got an A cinema score.
Which means people really loved it.
And that translates to strong word of mouth.
Which, for a movie like this, is gold.
Pure gold.
It is. And the critics seem to agree.
Yeah. 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Which is incredible.
Not too shabby.
Not at all.
So even though they downplay the music in the marketing, it seems like the musical elements really did land well.
They did, and that's what makes this whole thing so intriguing.
Yeah, how so?
Well, they managed to appeal to both the hardcore musical fans and those who might have been on the fence.
Right, they broadened their audience.
Exactly, and it raises the question, is Wicked a fluke, or is this a sign that audiences are warming back up to movie musicals?
Ooh, that's a good question. And here's another one.
Hit me.
For anybody who hasn't seen it yet and doesn't know this, Wicked is only half the story.
Right, part 2 is already done.
Yeah, they filmed it back to back.
Set to be released next year.
Same pre-Thanksgiving window.
So get ready for the second half of this witchy saga.
Smart move, right? Capitalize on the hype while it's hot.
It's a classic strategy, but the success of these two-parters is kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah, some are huge, some are flops.
Wow. Exactly. Look at Maleficent, Mistress of Evil.
Didn't quite hit the same numbers as the original.
Not even close.
And you have Dune, part 2.
Oh, yeah, blew its predecessor out of the water.
So where do you think Wicked part 2 is going to fall on that spectrum?
Well, it definitely has some advantages going for it.
Like what?
Well, first of all, that short gap between releases means people are going to still be buzzing about the first film.
The hype will still be real.
And second, the overwhelmingly positive reception of Wicked shows that audiences are invested.
Invested in
These characters.
the world.
All of it.
And let's be real, that first film ended on a massive cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, they definitely left us wanting more.
Talk about leaving the audience hanging.
Literally.
But even a hit original doesn't guarantee a sequel's success.
That's very true.
Joker. Fully adieu.
Oof. Yeah, that was a tough one.
Despite the massive success of the first film, the sequel flopped.
It happens.
It's a reminder that nothing is guaranteed in Hollywood. Nope. You never know what's going to happen.
But hey, that's part of the excitement, right?
It keeps things interesting.
So what do you think, based on everything we know so far?
About Wicked, Part 2.
Yeah, any predictions?
I think it has the potential to be huge.
Yeah.
It's riding that wave of success from the first film, and the story is already set up to deliver even more drama and intrigue.
Plus, there's the added element of anticipation.
Yes, fans are already buzzing about how the second film will unfold, what surprises it might hold.
Like a built-in audience just waiting to be captivated.
Exactly, and on top of all of that,
There's more.
we can't forget about the Thanksgiving box office battle that's brewing.
Oh, right. Moana 2.
Set sail on Tuesday, just a few days after Wicked.
Two family-friendly musicals going head-to-head for those holiday dollars.
It's going to be a showdown.
What do you think?
Who will win?
Will Wicked continue to defy gravity, or will Moana 2 sail to victory?
It's a nail-biter. We'll have to wait and see. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's recap what we've learned about Wicked so far.
Okay, sounds good. It's pretty amazing when you think about how Wicked has just become part of our culture.
Oh, totally. It's everywhere.
It really is. You see it, you wear it, you quote it.
People debate it with their friends.
It's gone way beyond just a successful movie.
It's a lifestyle,
I know, right?
which has got to be a good sign for Part 2.
Oh, absolutely. The cultural impact of Wicked can't be overstated.
Not at all.
I mean, it's sparked all these conversations.
About everything.
Friendship, acceptance, good versus evil.
What it means to be a witch.
Exactly. And then you think about the characters.
Iconic.
Their Halloween costumes every year.
Every single year.
And the music.
Now, don't even get me started on the music.
Defying Gravity is basically an anthem at this point.
Pretty much it's everywhere.
In stores, on the radio, people's playlists.
It's like Wicked infiltrated our brains.
Through our ears.
Exact.
And that's one of the things that makes it so enduring.
Right. The music is catchy. It's powerful.
It's emotionally resonant.
It stays with you.
Long after you've seen the show.
Oh, for sure.
And let's be real, it's a powerful marketing tool, too.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, think about it. How many people rediscovered the stage show or got excited for the movie because they heard popular on the radio?
It's like free advertising.
Powered by catchy tunes.
That's brilliant. And beyond just the music, though.
There's the story.
Yeah, people connect with the story.
This whole idea of looking beyond what you see, questioning what you've been told, forging your own path.
It's powerful stuff.
And it's a classic underdog story, but with a twist.
We're rooting for the witches.
The villains.
The misunderstood.
Exactly. Wicked challenges us to see them in a new light.
To understand their motivations.
Yeah.
To empathize with their struggles.
That kind of complexity is rare.
Especially in a blockbuster film aimed at families.
And that's what makes it so brilliant.
Right.
It's both entertaining and thought-provoking.
You leave the theater humming the tunes, but also thinking.
About the themes, the characters' journeys.
It's a story that stays with you.
And that's one of the key reasons, I think, why it's had such a lasting cultural impact.
Right. And people are still talking about the original Broadway production all these years later.
And this film adaptation seems to be capturing that same magic.
For sure. But it goes beyond just the individual experience.
Oh, how so?
Wicked has created a real sense of community among its fans.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There are online forums, fan clubs, cosplay groups.
People connecting over their shared love for these characters.
For this world.
It's a whole subculture.
People bonding over their favorite songs, debating plot points, creating fan art, writing their own stories.
It's amazing.
It's a reminder that art can be more than just entertainment.
It can bring people together.
It can be a source of connection and inspiration and maybe even social change.
Absolutely. So all of this raises a crucial question.
Okay, what is it?
What does Wicked's success tell us about the state of the movie industry as a whole?
Good question.
Are audiences tired of the same old superhero flicks and action-packed blockbusters?
Are they craving something different, something with more heart and substance?
What do you think?
I think people are yearning for a little bit of magic in their lives.
And Wicked delivers that.
in spades.
And it does it without sacrificing quality.
The film is beautiful.
Stunning visuals, incredible performances, a score that you can't get out of your head.
It's the total package.
It really is.
Which makes you wonder, could Wicked be the film that breaks the mold?
What do you mean?
The one that convinces Hollywood that audiences are hungry for something different, something more meaningful.
That's a really interesting thought.
It is, isn't it?
And I think it's worth exploring further.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
Well, let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
And dive into the wider implications of Wicked's success.
Love it.
What does this mean for the future of movie musicals? Could this be the start of a renaissance?
So we've covered a lot of ground. The record-breaking numbers, the marketing, the cultural impact.
All the things.
But what does Wicked's success actually say about the movie landscape right now?
What does it all mean?
Yeah, is this just a random thing, or could it be something bigger?
That's the real question, isn't it?
It feels like for a long time, superhero movies and big action franchises have been the top dogs.
Running the show.
So could this be a sign that things are changing?
A shift in the tides.
It's exciting to think about.
It is, and it's not like musicals are anything new.
No, they've been around forever.
But it does seem like Hollywood's been a little hesitant to invest in them lately.
Maybe a little gun-shy after a few high-profile misses.
Right? Maybe they started to see musicals as a risk.
But Wicked just blew that whole idea out of the water.
Oh yeah, it took a beloved story, a talented cast, some amazing music.
And reminded everyone how powerful a well-made musical can be.
It really did.
So if Wicked is any indication, maybe audiences haven't fallen out of love with musicals after all. Maybe they were just waiting for the right musical to come along.
Waiting to be swept off their feet.
Exactly.
And that's where things get really interesting.
Oh, how so?
If studios see that Wicked isn't just a one-off.
That there's actually an audience for this.
A real appetite for musicals that are done right.
Then what?
Then it could open up the floodgates.
For more musicals.
For a whole new wave of musical films.
Whoa, now we're talking. Imagine a world with fewer superhero sequels and more big-budget musicals.
I like the way you think.
Like a film adaptation of Phantom of the Opera.
Or Hamilton.
I would love to see that.
On the big screen with a huge budget.
Oh yeah, or even something completely original.
A brand new story.
Because remember, Wicked itself wasn't based on a classic movie or anything.
That's true.
It was a totally new story that took a familiar world and flipped it.
Gave it a fresh perspective.
So this could be a chance for studios to take some risks, you know.
To try something new.
Give fresh voices and original stories a chance to shine.
And think about the impact that could have.
Not just on the film industry, but on theater too.
A successful movie musical could inspire a whole new generation to discover live theater.
Right. They might see Wicked on screen and then want to see it live on stage.
It's a beautiful cycle.
Art inspiring more art.
And you know what else I think?
What?
This could be a chance for more diversity in storytelling.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Musicals can explore so many different genres and themes.
Historical dramas, contemporary romances, fantasy adventures.
There's room for everything.
Exactly, and that's what makes this so exciting.
It really is.
Wicked's success isn't just about one movie.
It's about the potential it represents.
Right.
The potential for a resurgence of this amazing genre.
For more inclusive stories.
And for a renewed love of music and performance.
So what does this all mean for you listening out there?
What does it mean for the future?
As you go about your day, maybe just keep this thought in mind.
What if Wicked is just the beginning?
What if this is the spark that ignites a whole new era of movie musicals?
And if that's the case, what stories would you want to see brought to life on the big screen?
What music would you want to hear?
The possibilities are endless.
That's what makes it so exciting. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Wicked and the future of musicals. We'll see you next time.